So hi, welcome once again sa klase natin. We are already in our module week 10 sa ating Social Work 211 or Philippine Social Realities, no? So yung topic natin ngayon is all about the family and responsible parenthood. So actually the family was defined by sociology or the books as a smallest unit of the society. And kind of like I somehow disagree to that kasi nga although that topic is just based on the number of persons organizationally, but there are a lot of societal problems that we can be rooted on family problems, and especially relatable din dyan yung being a responsible parenthood. So how important it is to understand this topic right now, because I believe each one of us do have a family, and maybe individually of us have this desire to have that. Okay? So first, no, the family, let's define it. So the family, which is the oldest and most universal institution and is basic social institution in most societies, cherished and protected by the state. So accordingly, there it is a primary group formed by ceremonial marriage of a male and female, resulting later, no, in the birth of one or more children. These children are reared to become worthy members of the society. We see this here. According here, it is called family when it is accorded by marriage, but there are a lot of families naman that is not according to marriage. Okay, so family is the first group. Yes, nang isinilang tayo, no? So sabi pa nga dito, it is where the first smile is seen. So the child recognizes its mother and smile which no animal can do. So so sabi dito, no, bakit there are times also it is where the child's human consciousness is formed. No, the different members such as father, mothers, brothers, sisters, friends, neighbors, grandparents are all discovered on the basis of family. So sabi dito, producing children, of course, does not always occur because there are times when the couple cannot procreate, and there are also times that maybe the couple avoids it. Maybe magasto yung pagpaanak, bata, and there are also others who are adopting children. So legally adopted children are usually accorded the status of natural spring and are given the same rights, privileges as those born from marriage. So sabi dito, the family therefore is a socially recognized unit of family related to each other by kinship. Okay, yung relatable talaga, marital, by marriage and legal ties. Related na dyan yung legal ties is adoption or guardianship, no? This group is characterized by common residence. So ano yung some categories of residence: patrilocal residence, matrilocal, economic operation, and of course reproduction. It includes adult both sexes, no, two of whom maintain socially approved sexual relationship, no, example social intercourse in accordance with marriage, and one or more children owned or adopted of sexually cohabiting adults or those live in. So every society has its ultimate control over this unit by its institutionalization of marriage and the definition of rights and obligation as a result of marriage and consequent reproductions. Kasi actually po, yung marriage kasi, okay, it is a legally tie, no? So actually, may pinipirmahan din kayo dyan na mga obligations yung not just as being a couple, but also being a father or a mother to your children. So it is true the family that society is able to direct from the individuals his necessary contribution. So sinasabi ng mga parents sa atin na dapat kang magkaganito para makatulong ka ganito ganyan. Same purpose din yan na how we contribute to our society. No? In turn, can continue to exist only if it is supported by larger society. Now, the major daily concerns of the family life are the prepare of children for his adult place in society and to maintain that integration once made. So indeed, no, there are times talaga na pag lumaki ka, yan yung naiisip natin sa parents natin, pag lumaki ka, dapat ka maging ganito. And of course, actually, we are already conditioned to help our society. Na at nanggaling yung mindset na yan, maybe sa family natin, sa guardian natin, sa mga relatives natin, or even to those who are in orphanage or centers. So, the family life. So, although in many societies talaga, sometimes yung being a family, medyo sira na. Sometimes nga, meron tayong mindset na pag 18 years old yung ang bata dapat nang bumukod. Pero, iba yan na concept sa Philippines kasi, no, the Filipino family in general is still monogamous. No, we are also united being a family. Sometimes nga, pag, yun, ano yung tawag dyan, pag, nagkasal na yung isang family sa Philippines, sometimes hindi pa rin bumubukod na sa parent family pa rin. And oftentimes, there are people, hindi naman natin masasabi na that is a responsibility or umaasa. There are times, I know people no, na kaya nilang magbukod, pero they still choose to be in their family. No, because yung family natin monogamous and somehow talaga, and it is indeed, no, familial kasi yung bond natin. Okay, so it gives him affection, care, attention, protection, and engenders in him a sense of belonging or security. Okay, so the Filipino family is an institution of security which protects its members from exigencies of living. The members are bound to help each other. Okay, tinutulungan natin, pag may times, pag matapos na mag-aaral, tinutulungan natin yung other kapatid natin to help unemployed or physically handicapped and to take care of the aged. Ito yung sometimes oftentimes dito makita natin yung mga anak, no, binabantay na nila yung parents nila pag matanda na. Okay, the Filipino family founded on love and affection, sanctified by virtue of Christian marriage or whatever marriage religious you have, is a cohesive in nature. Accordingly, husband and wife relationship as well as parent and children relationship is one of closeness and harmony. It is governed in the best tradition of human rights and of understanding of each and every member of the family. As a social group, it maintains its unity and homogeneity. They stay together as the basis of Filipino social life. So, di ba, ganito talaga tayong mga Pilipino. Indeed, yung meron tayong tinatawag sa kultura natin na close family ties. And indeed, the closeness there and of course, the harmony we are longing for. So, in general, in other home of the Filipino family, there is love, cooperation, especially in business, no, yung mga business-related family, respect, justice, democracy, and above all, there is God whom they respect and believe as the greatest source of human consolation. So, malalaman natin ngayon, madadissect to, paano ba to siya na explain itong part na to. So, meron tayo itong position, okay, rights and duties of the members of the society. Okay, so like in Western counterparts, American and European, the family is organized around parents talaga. So, the father is the head, sometimes, oftentimes, breadwinner, no? While it's the mother is the treasurer of the housekeeping. So, may mga times, di ba, na yung mother yung binibigyan ng pera, nagtatrabaho yung father. Pero right now, nagbago na yung oftentimes society natin, nagtatrabaho na rin yung parent. Lahat ng parents, hindi lang yung father. So, the parents have a definite division of responsibilities and each respects and supports the function of the other. Now, the parents of even the poorest Filipino family work hard for social mobility. It is their hope that their children will grow up much better than they are. They are so concerned for social status that they strive hard in order to provide their children with the best education they can afford. So, there are times, di ba, na yung family natin, especially your parents, are working hard. Sinasabi nila, huwag kang matulad sa akin. Kaya nga, I'm working hard para hindi ka matulad sa akin, mag-aral ka, okay? What the family does distinctively is to give individual a name, may pangalan ka, and ineffectively to the generations past and future a special place in the society. Okay, there are times talaga na pag may pangalan ka, you indeed belong to the family. So, meron tayo dito husbands, the husbands and the fathers. The father is the head of the family, and his authority is respected. He sets rules of the members he observes in order to maintain order, discipline, and harmony. There are times talaga yung father yung nagdisiplina. We already have that mindset. The father who expects respects from the other members of the family should be a good provider. No, for times nga, breadwinner from the other members of the family should be a good provider because the right of the father to rule give him the duty providing the necessity. So, parang dyan talaga nang galing yung authority ng isang ama, no, being a provider, and that alone pa lang is indeed subjected na of respect. Okay? He keeps himself employed or occupied so that he can support his family or provide with them the necessities of life. Now, the rearing of the children belongs to both parent Lee, but the father owes not only to support but to actively help, especially and financially. Okay, so and indeed in all aspects, religiously, no, even though socially talaga, indeed the father must strive hard to self-develop so that he can provide for his family. So our social code or civil code of the Philippines provide that the husbands and the family must support his wife and children. It also provides that when there is a danger that the father who is obliged to give support is mismanaging even his peripheral property or account of the refused living and the wife, majority of the children may petition to the court of first instance to stop him from squandering further the family portion. Okay. So, example dito, mayaman kayo na family. Tapos yung father mo is parang sugarol or he has gambling and naapektuhan na yung family mo. Pwede mo yung isumbong sa korte, no, by the power of civil code of the Philippines, no, i-impose mo lang doon. No, nandun kasi yung nakalagay, example in the family code of the Philippines, nakalagay doon, I think it's EO 209 of the family code of the Philippines, nakalagay doon, hindi lang yung about how to build a family, but also duties and responsibilities of the members of the family, especially the parent. So, you can sue your relative pag ganun yung ugali nila, they are not so responsible at some point in their duties and responsibility. You can ask the power of the court to stop them from doing that. And also, we have the mother, the one, if the father is the head of, or the leader, the mother is the heart. Okay, may mga times na tayo na ilaw ng tahanan. Oftentimes, that ilaw ng tahanan, nasa gitna talaga yung ilaw para mailawan yung bahay. Anyway, she, however, rules in the home. In the absence of the father, she also holds the family together by managing the household and directing the lives of its members. Now, likewise, she sees it that the family guidelines and decisions are observed and administers disciplinary measures and is based on whenever necessary. The mother, therefore, is not only a housekeeper, a treasurer, but a director and an executive official as well. Okay? So, the wife's responsibility, however, is to look after the children's welfare and to manage domestic helper o yung pangbahay na mga gawain. It is her duty to give them preschool education as well as to give them knowledge about God or their religion unless the family has a maid. Okay, unless a maid. Now, if she is unemployed, she has her hands full with household chores. So, as a treasurer, the mother budgets the income of the family. Okay, di ba? May times naman yung mother talaga yung namamalengke, he decide. Now, accordingly here, the civil code provides that the wife retains the ownership of her peripheral property and the husband cannot even mortgage at with even a constant. Talaga nga. It also provides that the wife shall have administration of the peripheral property unless she liberates same of the husband means public instruments empowering him to administer. Okay? So, yan yung mga sa mga property in terms of money and of course the property. In our modernizing Philippines, marital relationship harmony depends essentially upon the couples finding reciprocally interrelating rules. But one spouse may forego his or her desires or needs in order to support the family and avoids conflict. Now, there are times din, di ba, na sometimes kasi pag nakulong tayo dito, ay yan lang dapat yung ang father na rule, yan lang yung mother. Paano kung mother ka and you are the one or have that privilege or opportunity to provide? Of course, no, parang at some point then, you forgo your desire, no, para makatulong ka more. Now, this is special in cases where husband is temporarily jobless. Okay, may mga times talaga na ganito. Walang trabaho yung husband and the mother itself has the right or has the discretion, no, to help, especially to support financially. Children naman, ano yung responsibility ng isang anak? In the Filipino family, the children acknowledge and respect the authority of the home. Now, our civil code provides that every child is entitled to be taken care of by the parents. If the child's parents are no longer living, his close relatives or godparents should assume the parental duty of raising him. Now, such cares includes child's physical health and well-being. This means providing him with essential needs, pagkain, medical attention, whenever needed, and even education. Now, children have the right to be given education, no? Dapat talaga pag-aralan. Sometimes nga yung child abuse nga yung mga bata pinapatinda, pinapatrabaho, Actually, it is bounded to the civil code na sa state ng batang yan, kailangan pa siyang pag-aralin. Maybe wala pa sa eksaktong edad. At since wala pa siya sa eksaktong edad, well, ano bang nararapat sa edad niya na gawin niya? Dapat siyang pag-aralin. Related din dyan yung lahat ng mga abuses na hindi pinag-aral yung bata. It is likewise the right of children to be provided moral and civic training so that they will grow up to be upright, useful, and law-abiding citizens. Now, since a child has certain rights, now necessarily he also has to have corresponding duties. No? So he is duty-bound to love, respect, and obey his parents and elders. Now, the right to proper education imposes upon the children and duty to gratitude and docility toward their parents. So, indeed, we must obey our parents, love them, of course, respect their authority. Now, at home, the children, especially of rural families, have certain tasks to perform. Sometimes dito tumutulong sa bahay, di ba? Yung mga bata, naalala ko dati, yung chores ko sa bahay ko is that maghugas ng plato, mag-igib ng tubig. Yung ate ko, naglalaba sila. Okay, so now let's have naman, ano yung mga functions of the Filipino family? Now, the functions of the family which have been summarized and briefly explained by Cordero and Panopio applies to the Filipino families. Now, these are the functions of reproduction, no, yung may naisilang na bata, biological maintenance, socialization, social control, status placement, economic, religious, and educational, recreational, and political function. Now, like other families, the Filipino family performs the said function. Sabi dito, the Filipino regulates sexual behavior and is a unit for reproduction. Yung may nangyayari ng nagkakaanak, may nisilang na bata. Okay, so the family performs functional biological maintenance. The parents look after the children's physical and material need. So, sinusustahin yung bata para lumaki yung bata, pinoprotektahan, ninonourish. Now, the family is the chief agency in socializing the child. So, dito talaga tayo nagkameron ng intimate relationships sa family natin. We have close bonds. Now, the family, fourth naman, the family gives members its status. So, pag may pamilya, example, pag may pamilya ka, ano yung status mo? Mayaman ba kayo? Hindi. The family into which one is born already acquired a social position of the community based on the quality of behavior inhibited by its members. Example, in participation in society. Example, wow, yan man yung anak ng matulungin dito sa barangay. Sometimes yan yung status na nabibigyan ng mga parents sa atin. Especially lalo na pag nasa mayamang angkan ka. So your family is helping you at some point na to have a status. Also, the family is an important mechanism for social control. Oftentimes, di ba, may mga times kasi that we have a lot of crimes that is related to family problems. Maybe vandalism, no, riots. Oftentimes, accordingly to the research, yung mga children daw na nasasangkot sa mga crimes or petty crimes is related sa family problems daw. Okay, of course, we have families an important economic unit. No, dito tayo nasustentuhan in terms of production, consumption, and distribution of unit. A source of labor, holder of property, no? May times talaga na namamana natin yung, especially pag mayaman ka, yung wealth ng parents mo. The family has an educational function, no? Dito tayo tinuturuan ng family natin. The family transmit knowledge, skill. Hindi lang doon na nag-start, hindi lang nag-start kasi itong educational function ng family pag nakapag-aral ng yung bata sa preschool. Nag-start ito, nang isilang ka. No, your family is teaching you knowledge, skill, attitude, and appreciations habang bata ka pa, kahit wala ka pa sa school. Now, the family has a recreational function. No? Our family members have divergent interests. Diyan tayo natututong we compete to leisure activities, parents concerned with the selection of guidance, kung paano tayo maaliw. No, sometimes talaga yung kinakaaliwan natin dapat din pinipilian ng mga parents natin para maprotektahan tayo sa mga immoral na mga gawain. Now, the family has a religious function, no? Oftentimes talaga dito tayo natuto to believe in God. Now, the family has a political function, no? Certain aspects of family like lines of authority, dito tayo natuto ng mga ganitong concept. Sino yung authority, loyalty members, cooperation, no? Of course, being a productive activity in a society. Dito tayo natuto. And ano yung importansya naman ng pamilya? Of course, I believe we already have this mind, but let's have this. The family is an indispensable unit. Another institution can provide role for the children and more, including the kibbutz or the family. Absolutely necessary. The following importance of family. And the strong or weak mental and physical aspects of the organism inherited from the parents can be developed in the family. So dito tayo natuto na how can we fight to our problems or struggle. In the family, the children learns meaning of social responsibilities and the necessity for cooperation. It plays a significant role in socializing persons. The family is a transmitter of culture. Diba? Yung sometimes talaga, yung culture natin ngayon as an individual, namana natin to sa ating parents. Just to say it, we have a culture of poverty and it is actually included. Pero, dito lang, kung isinilang ka, na siguro mahirap ka, maybe kasalanan yan ng parents mo. Pat kung namatay ka na mahirap ka, yan yung status mo sa buhay, kasalanan mo yan. Yan yung sometimes narinig natin sa mga business motivational speaking. The family serves as model for establishment of another family. Okay? So, let's talk right now the problems confronting the family life. So, ito yung madalas talaga, especially in the Philippines. Okay? Kasi oftentimes talaga, pag may problema talaga, dapat nating malaman to so that we can prevent the family from being disrupted or mas malala, being separated. First is the gambling or the movie. And second, the movie. Lack of adequate preparation in marriage life. Hindi prepared. Imprudent choice of marriage. No? Basta-basta man lang pagpili. The effects of the city life. Next is the practice of birth control and abortion. Ito talaga yung sometimes pressing na sometimes, di ba, meron tayong topic, di ba, na next topic natin is family planning. Family practice of divorce. Gambling is the problem confronting families because it derives from the family's funds. Sometimes, di ba, may mga nasisira pamilya because nagsusugal, no? Nagkakautang tuloy, ganon. Another this type of problem, no? Although going to the movie is a form of recreation, there are many films that tell story that are destructive in the young, especially yung mga sensual na mga movie, and indeed it is a problem sa pamilya natin. Okay, dito tayo natutunan kung ano yung mga ginagawa natin. Boys and girls who marry at the early age doesn't know responsibilities. Yan yung mga madaliang marriage. Now, present day marriage are undertaken by teenagers without parental consent, no? Imprudent choice of marriage. Yung nangyayari because lang yan sa physical attraction, no? Kasi maganda, sexy, ganito, ganyan. And oftentimes, itong nag-auwi lang sa hiwalayan. City life naman, there are many forms of recreation, no? Sometimes talaga, pag city life, sobrang delikado niya, especially in concerning, no, measured in wealth and moral qualities, no? Nauwi sa barkada. Kasi sa city life, sa city life kasi ako nakatira. Doon, marami temptation doon sa buhay. Okay, so the practice of birth control naman, alam natin to in the family. Right now, we are in age, ang dami na natin sa population natin, almost 8 billion na tayo. And of course, baka sa pag-practice natin ng birth control, mauwi pa sa immorality, we abort young people. Sometimes ganito, sometimes nauwi din to kasi sa birth control, maybe in abortion, sometimes nagresulto sa mga imprudent choice sa marriage or maaga nagpakasal, hindi prepared. Kaya yung nauwi tuloy, committing immorality or kasalanan na na-abort yung bata. In the Philippines, there is no absolute divorce, no? I think we discussed that already. So, common problem among Filipino families is economic instability. Related dyan yung gambling, walang pera. Of course, related din dyan yung maagang nagpakasal kasi nga hindi prepared, siguro hindi pa nakatapos na pag-aaral, may gastusin na kaagad, may responsibilities na kaagad. Okay, so analyzing the different problems, we may come across the following questions. Now, why do family fail? No, bakit ba nagkakameron ng separation or divorce? Now, why do few understand the cause of the generation gap? What makes the teenagers get involved in drugs, illicit sex, and other life-breaking situations? What goes wrong to cause tragedies like this to happen? Is there a reason? Of course, there's a reason for everything. Okay, so there is a cause for every effect. No, the reason of every result. In this present generation, there are different and definite reasons why some families fail and why families are successful and happy. Now, discuss naman tayo, guys, no, how to have a happy family. It's an ironic because I'm not a married one. So, a happy family's life emerges through the cooperation of the members at home. Now, each members love the other members. His family appreciates what the other family members do for him and accept responsibilities cheerfully. Now, good family membership result in successful. So, nalalaman, sometimes, nasa mga video to, ang daming ganito, di ba? So, every family, however, there are problems that arises from time to time. Problems are part of the process of living together. Some families are able to find ways to solve their problems, so they stay happy. Now, this is a sign of maturity on the other part of the individual's concern. Other families fail to the task of trying to have happy life. family life because of several reasons. Now, we have conflicts here, problems. Some parents, no, find it hard to realize their children are growing up din. 'Di ba may mga times talaga na hindi na understand ng parents na yung lumalaki yung mga bata nila, and sometimes hindi nila alam yung need ng bata sa paglaki dito, and oftentimes hindi nila dito kasi parenthood na to na party, hindi medyo na bibigyan ng pansin yung mga bata. Oftentimes yung mga bata nagre-rebelde, nag-asawa ng maaga because of this parenthood problem. But hindi naman lahat. So, as given by Eugene M. Walter and A.B. Billingsley, the following are the 3 vital, important, basic principles which are the backbone of the stable, happy family life. First is give yourself to your family. So, most parents never have time to their children. They're always too busy doing the things they want to do. No, sometimes yung pagiging parents ngayon hindi nila nagagampanan yung being a parent to the children. They are just nangyari na lang sa kanila, they are just only mere provider. Nag-provide na lang sila kasi sometimes nga, 'di ba? Yan yung kakulangan ng mga parents sa pagpupursige nila mag-provide, they forgot to be a human and to be a parent to their children. In today's affluent society, many parents give their children everything but themselves. They simply don't take time for the children. Yan talaga yung problema. 'Di ba? May makakita tayong mga times na mayaman naman sila. Bakit yan yung naging future ng bata? Yan naging ganyan yung bata. No, so sometimes napababayaan ng parents issue of parenthood. Some parents do see the importance of spending time with their family. 'Di ba? May times talaga if you are familiar with that word family time, okay? So para yan talaga sila sa family mo na oftentimes talaga there is always an allotted time sa pamilya. 'Di ba? Nakita natin nag-abroad, nag-outing, naliligo. Of course, church. Going to church is pwede nang maging family time na yan. Sometimes nga rin is sabay kumain. Okay, ganon. Hinahatid sundo sa pag-aaral. Wow. No? So, next is private family activities. Okay, a must. Okay, so ito na yung mga activities na your children you can participate of. Example, group picnics, swimming. So, yung sinabi ko, maliligo, outing. No, na-excite dito yung mga bata kasi ito yung gusto ng mga bata. Time spent in private with your family provides an excellent opportunity to teach them the true values of life. Next is communicate with your family. No? Sometimes talaga, nag-aaway yung family because there is the lack of connection. Related din yan siguro yung walang time, nahihiya. Kaya nahihiya kasi walang time eh. In this generation, especially our children are exposed to immoral influences. Many of their friends will look on anyone who doesn't succumb those influences square. They desperately need to have. Sometimes kasi yung mga ganggang, 'di ba? Mga gang. Sometimes kasi na-compose sila in a concept of family life or brotherhood kasi nga kulang sa family and they try to compensate. So, may mga ganun na pangyayari. Next is never neglect any of your children. Hindi lang siguro to sa responsibility mo yan, but actually you can be in prison, okay, by neglecting your family. Siguro pasok yan siya sa Family Code and especially sa Republic Act 9262 na natin or AVAUSI or Anti-Violence Against Women. Mayroon dong mga violence or abuses, example, economic rights na pag iniwan mo yung anak mo, okay, at hindi mo sinustentuhan, you are subjected to be filed on case related sa economic abuse, hindi mo nasustentuhan yung bata mo. Okay, so often the first and the last children are shown more attention and never than the ones between. So, may mga times talaga ganyan. Yung bata, yung panganay, hindi na sustentuhan. Yung panggitna, sometimes nauwi na lang lahat yung pansin nila sa baby. So, yun yung pinakabata. Okay? May mga times na ganyan. Another problem is that some parents feel that one children has grown beyond babyhood, love, and attention are no longer. Ito yung malala. Sometimes kasi naisip na ng parents talaga na, hindi na siya dapat bigyan ng pansin. Malaki na yan. Di ba? May mga times na ganun. Malaki ka naman. Kaya mo na sarili mo. And oftentimes, this has root a lot of problems. Okay? Children who are neglected tend to become sullen, resentful, or disobedient. Kaya nagkami ng rebelde sa family. Parents should never neglect any of their children. Problems such as juvenile delinquency. Yung sinabi ko na yung family problems talaga, nagko-cause siya sa a lot of more problems like juvenile delinquencies. Na-discuss na natin to, drugs, alcoholism, crime rates, mental breakdowns, happen even in sons of affluent families. Sometimes may mga ganitong times na mayamang pamilya, makapangyarihan pamilya, naging ganito. Okay? It's because of the lack of loving friendship between parents and family, particularly the father. Okay, the power of love. Okay, it has been proven significantly that the most important experience in anyone's life is love. Studies revealed that even in the life of a baby, love is such an essential part of its nourishment that unless a baby is loved, that child will not develop a healthy organism, psychologically, spiritually, and even physically. Though the child may be physically and well nurtured, malaki naman yung katawan, but without love, a child will waste away and die. Because this was not understood, during the first 2 decades of this century, the majority of babies under 1 year of age who enter hospitals and the children's institution never emerge alive. No, so gradually, it began to be recognized that it was the lack of love experience, the emotional deprivation, and the absence of mothering that was causing the tragic ill effects in funding institutions. Okay. A child learns to love by being loved. Of course, no? You cannot give what you don't have. Of course, from at some point, nabigay yan sa'yo, and right now, you can also give it to others. When it is not love, it fails to learn to love. Wow. Hugo to. By following the above principles, no, there is a great responsibility that such tragedy can be avoided from occurring in the family home. So indeed, here's our conclusion. The family is an institution, and we have the rights and responsibilities being a father, mother, children. We have here the present family problems and how to have a better and family and happy family. Okay? So I believe no dito lang po natatapos. So I will posting next week the last topic, and yan na yung maging mag-sum up ng prelim natin. Maybe I post next week talaga, this week na to, yung prelim ipopost ko siya ngayon.